Hi, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jill Enders, a conversion comparator and website consultant. And today I would like to talk to you about using images effectively on your website in a way that they make your message stronger or at least do not get in the way. Before we dive in, I would like to clarify that every time that you're using an element on your website, whether it's an additional section with text, whether it's a photo, an icon, a video, an animation, you need to ask yourself, what's the point? How does this element help me persuade my prospects and make it more likely for them to reach out with an inquiry or to buy my product? Because if when you're using an image and I ask you, what's the point? Your answer is, because it looks pretty, it's already not the right approach. Why? Because every time I look at session replays and heat maps of my clients where we see how far prospects scroll, we see that the further down the page, the fewer people stick around. Doesn't matter how good the copy is. Of course, I mean, when the copy is bad, even fewer people will stick around. But I've never seen the page, and I don't think it's possible where every person, 100% of visitors read everything. This means that the longer your page is, the fewer prospects will read till the end. And if you're bloating your page unnecessarily, bloating, meaning adding things that do not serve any purpose, that do not help you keep your prospects on the page longer, persuade them to reach out or buy, you are shooting yourself in the foot. So, what is the good purpose of using an image? I would say there are three major purposes. One would be to set the mood, because the way people judge your website is in the very first second. The majority of the impression is formed by design. So an image is supposed to set the mood, create a particular emotion, and signal to them what kind of website that is. The second purpose of using an image could be to break visual monotony. If you have a lot to tell your prospects, if you will be using only text, at some point it will become visually boring. And this visual boredom, visual monotony, is one of the major nemesis of yours when it comes to keeping your prospects on the site. So when you notice, okay, there have been already too many paragraphs, I probably need some kind of friction, good friction to kind of, show something different for them to pay attention. There you can use an image. And the third purpose of an image, which is also super effective, is to use an image to explain something faster or better than words could do. For example, if you need a graph to illustrate your purpose, a scheme, maybe a GIF to demonstrate very quickly particular parts of your interface, or a photo of a person where you get additional trust points where they see your face. You cannot possibly describe yourself in a way that will have the same effect as a prospect seeing your own photo. If we're talking about service providers, photos of your team, then you use the photo to get trust points. So just to summarize, three major purposes of using an image should be or can be setting the mood, breaking visual monotony, or communicating something faster or better than you can do with words. Okay, so imagine you have an image that fulfills this purpose. What should you keep in mind to make sure this image strengthens your message and does not get in the way? There will be, again, three these points to keep in mind. First of all, an image should only evoke the emotion you are going for. So you need to think strategically. Do I want a negative emotion here? Or do I want a positive emotion here? Or do I need any kind of emotion, main point, not negative? So, like neutral or positive. That is super important because there are images that may evoke negative emotions where you don't even think about it. For example, real life example from my website reviewing practice, somebody was calling themselves a copy doctor and using an image of a doctor that was not very pleasant. This is generally speaking a dangerous move because many people associate doctors with unpleasant experiences. But if you have to, use an image of a doctor, I would recommend using a face that is uncovered, no surgical mask, somebody smiling, no scalpels in the hand, no blood dripping from your sleeve. Okay, in that particular case, it was not that extreme, but it's a difference between, a person who is masked, where you can't see a positive face expression, and somebody who is rather looking very charming, playful, and has the minimum of doctor stuff on them, so you don't get this negative emotional flashback. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing, every image should be clear. It should be clear what it represents. Because some images can be super busy. Then you're thinking, okay, what should your prospect understand from this image? Just let me give you an example. If we are talking about winning and you show them a chess board where the queen is lying down, like some last figure is lying down and the king is standing over it, or a queen, whatever, and it's not clear. Are we talking about losing or are we talking about winning? So then you need to pick a different image that is completely unambiguous, and the image that will be understood in the same way by 100% of your prospects. Generally speaking, it's a very good idea to always keep in mind, what do I want to communicate? Does this image communicate that? So here you can't do anything wrong. First of all, okay, you have a strategy and a purpose. This is what I want to say. Does this image do that? And then you see if it's a disconnect. If something is, doesn't fit, then you will have to change the image. And the very last thing is, images should match your color palette, because especially if a page is longer and if you're using different kinds of images, if they all use very different color palette, it can create a feeling of clutter. And clutter actually is something that is associated with unprofessional design. And if the design is unprofessional, your prospects will conclude that you are unprofessional. So this is also not a great idea. All right, I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I'll make sure to respond. And if you would like to see more videos like that in your YouTube feed, just subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Can't wait for the next tip to come out. Would like to have all tips in one place? Get my book, Making Your Website Work, 100 Copy and Design Tips for Smart Business Owners, on Amazon, Gumroad, and literally any other platform where books are sold online.